Well, let's begin what's trending then. With reactions trailing the transcript of the deposition made by Carl Westberg, the witness of the Chicago State University in the case of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's request for the release of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's school records in the yet-to-be certified transcript obtained by our sister publication, This Day Newspapers, Westberg told the court that the diploma, which is also called a certificate, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to INEC was not like the ones issued by the university in 1979, but however looked more like those produced in the 1990s. Well, in one breath, Westberg also claimed that CSU did not find any diploma issued by 1979 to Tinubu, but in another breath claimed that the school had in its file the diploma dated June 27, 1979, which was the copy released last year to Enahoro Eba under the order of a U.S. court. Well, let's go over some excerpt of the deposition transcript. Carl Westberg was responding to questions from Angela Liu, lawyer to Atiku Abubakar. The question from Angela goes, "You have never seen a diploma that cut off the signature of Herbert Conley position like this?" Answer, correct. Question, and CSU does not have a 1979 diploma that contains the font, CL signatories and wording apart from the INEC diploma. Westberg answered correct. Question, so CSU does not know of any diploma dated 1979 like the INEC diploma that has ever been issued. Answer, correct. Question, and CSU has no record of issuing this INEC diploma to President Tinubu in 1979. Westberg answered correct. Another question, and CSU did not issue a diploma dated June 27, 1979 to Tinubu in 1979. Westberg answered correct. Well, another transcript there. Angela asks, the diploma says it was granted on June 22nd, 1979. Westberg answered yes. Question, and CSU did not have a board of trustees in 1979, did it? Answer, true. Another question, so let's look at the signature on the INEC diploma on the right. It looks like one of the signatories from Elnora Daniel, correct? Answer, yes. Another question, and Elnora Daniel was not the chair or president of CSU in 1979, correct? Answer, correct. Angela also asks, she was president in 1998 to 2008, correct? Well, Westberg answer, as far as I'm aware. Well, you know this has caused a lot of reactions, guys, because, you know, is it the word forgery or the certification? But let me take a tweet from David Hudeni, who wrote, just got a hold of the written copy of yesterday's deposition. And yeah, Chicago State is in just as much trouble. Well, apart from confirming that the certificate submitted to INEC is a forgery, they also confirmed that they have no way of knowing that Bola A. Tinubu and Bola Ahmed Tinubu are in fact the same person. Well, Temitope Ajayi also in response, I believe he is the press secretary to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he wrote, we should be clear. In the deposition made by the Chicago State University, there was nowhere the university said the certificate presented to INEC by President Tinubu is fake. The university insisted on that oath that President Tinubu graduated with honors, and even at that, replacements for lost certificates are done by vendors, not the university. They claim that President Tinubu submitted fake certificate to INEC does not make sense. A man cannot forge the academic records he possesses. You can only forge what you don't have. All right, Rufai, a lot of discrepancies here in this. Yeah, although I will state again, this is not a certified copy of the deposition, but I mean, it's transcribed as to what he was saying. That is Carl Westberg. But I want to also just talk about the fact that, you know, Chicago State University contacts vendors to get their certificates. I did go on Chicago State University and I looked at it as well. There's also a link that you can click to obtain your diploma from the school website. And the second thing I wanted to say about concerning that as well is the fact that they did have the certificate from Enahoro Eba that he requested. I believe that was last year. So what happened there? I don't get it.
So that's the conundrum.
Yes.
Yeah, I get vendors can print certificates and all of that, you know, the American system. But The question I also want to ask is, apart from printing a certificate, there should be some form of authentication.
Yes, that they can make.
So let's say you are an affiliate of Rufai Enterprises. At least there should be some form of authentication of Rufai Enterprises on what you print. That's one. Number two, why is it that there was one, they gave a Nahoro Eba? Why didn't President Tinubu get that one to present?
That's the question.
But if CSU had one for him, why did he get that one to present? Why did he present the one that the CSU did not even present at all? I think a lot of people should read those raw facts of the deposition. They talked about that. That inquiry you read was, I think, was the first part of the deposition. So he did not know, the Carlsberg did not know that they were now going to bring up the Nahoro Eba exit. So when they brought it back to him, he was gobsmacked. It also showed the school did not even have a verification system to verify whatever the student had even presented hitherto. Because the school did not even know that Ahmed was the middle name of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there was no way for them to be able to know. Concerning the template that was going around, that some people had gone to tell all sorts of pockies for, that the school gave it to them. The school said it was just a template they had released because they got a lot of inquiries, and that if you had even mailed the school, they would have given it to you. That's just it. So when people,
they would have given. So what is this vendor situation?
So
and who
that was to whom it may concern.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about those certificates. I thought you meant the certificates.
So the vendor situation, and also they talked about the case of a certain Mr. Orr in all of this, conversation that left the school after his education of something and all of that. And there were also other even very sad things, and you wonder, this is where an American university operates.
Absolutely not.
And let's now go back to a particular document, because you see, with all of this new evidence, there was a deposition under oath Carlsberg made, where he said Bola Ahmed Tinubu graduated and was awarded a degree from University of June 1979, and they said that Chicago provided a diploma to him and they were valid and all of that. Now, this is suspect. In the first deposition I gave Angela Lu, the things he was already saying in this Henderson deposition was contradictory. So because, Oji, I'm not going to work, I read that thing. I read it, I took out my time to read it because we need to be able to inform the public.
Absolutely.
You get? So, and that's why all of this out there, it's in the realm, people will take it up, whatever it is, they're going to make their assumptions and all of that. But for me, I'm just concerned about the facts of the matter, and based on the deposition. Like you said, rightly, it's not certified yet. Probably when they certify it and all of that. And it's a document that's out there in public. Everybody should take out time to read it too. But based on some of the first depositions, it was already contradicting the things Carlsberg put in here.
All right. I get the point that Dr. Abati always makes, which is the point of discovery. Can it be admissible in court? But I don't think that that's what Nigerians are even worried about. They're worried about, they want to know, was that certificate actually from the Chicago State University, which we have seen in this uncertified transcript that, the clerk there is saying, we're not sure we can authenticate this actual certificate. What's your take on that?
So when you read the deposition and that statement coming from the university, the first question that came to my mind was, okay, so the certificate that was presented to INEC, where did the president obtain it from? Because it didn't come from CSU, and CSU has stated this categorically. Now, in terms of whether it's law admitted, I asked a question earlier to Mr. Hassan, when he sat where you were sitting, about, and now this is based on personal morality and the fact that this is the highest seat in the office of, this is the highest office in the land.
Yes.
And the fact that should someone, whether the court sacks him or not, if we are aware that a principal officer such as that forged or didn't present a certificate from the institution where he said he graduated from, should he not honorably, even without the interventions of the court, step aside, as is done in other sane societies? It's a matter of, and Mr. Kalu was here, he cited the example of Mesoma. When ordinary young Nigerians like Mesoma are said to have forged a result or forged a certificate, all their benefits are withdrawn from them. It's a national disgrace. It's a national, they didn't need to go to court for JAMB to come out and for all the sponsors to come out and take away her benefits. It's the same thing that Nigerians are clamoring for. It's beyond, and I said it before and I still maintain it, it's beyond, yes, law is not morality, but even if the courts cannot admit the evidence, whether it is they call it a wild goose chase or not, it is not just a national embarrassment if this is found, in terms of the evidence before us as CSU saying they didn't issue the certificate or the diploma. If the president is not able to share where he got that particular diploma from, if they are not able to balance the discrepancies on the dates, the logo, the signature, the different things that the registrar had alluded to, then Nigerians deserve an answer, and we deserve a credible leader who is honorable if found culpable to exit that position.
All right, well said, Ayo. We'll take